Hello everybody, it's Mike with the Pick Six, bringing you a very special episode based on the way the college football landscape is right now with From Blueprints to Bleachers, the Doak Stadium Edition. If you're new here, I'm going to be flashing my ever-changing guidelines to this series across the screen, and if you're returning, then welcome back. Without further ado, let's get to this review. Historically, the Florida State program did initially field a team from 1902 to 1904, winning an unofficial state championship during this time. They were eventually made defunct by the Buckman Act, though, which designated a certain amount of campuses, as well as Florida State's, to be an all-girls school. The program picked back up in 1947, and the first game to be played at this pantheon of a stadium was on October 7th of 1950, to a blowout win of 40-70 over the Randolph-Macon Yellow Jackets. The football team had been utilizing Centennial Field during the team's 1947 to 1949 seasons and needed a house of their own. The team would go undefeated in the inaugural season of the field, with the team's second coach since the reinception, Don Veller, being the only coach on the way to the Bill Peterson era to find any success. The likes of Ed Williamson and Perry Moss faring with a losing record, and Tom Nugent's tenure being a roller coaster at best, Bill Peterson changed the trajectory of the team for years to come by achieving the first of many victories over their Gainesville brother in the Florida Gators in 1964, which they also earned their first number one ranking from the Dunkel Collegiate Football Program Index. This era would then be followed by the Bobby Bowden era, where they took a step up from making a name for themselves and began to build a legacy in this era. During this time, they would amass 11 bowl wins, 9 ACC championships, 2 Heisman Trophy winners, and 2 national championships, as well as on the flip side, being forced to vacate a small portion of Bowden's 377 career wins due to allegations. While that era ended on a sour note, it did nothing to slow the momentum of the team as it headed into the Jimbo Fisher era, which is some of the best recruitment years of its time. It is pretty much in our recent memories though, so I'm going to fast forward to now, where this team is widely considered to have been robbed at gunpoint in a corporate level robbery scheme of the collegiate ranking programs being left out of the championship game. Everybody forgets that Ohio State won this championship on their third string quarterback. Moving on to architecture. Architecturally, this stadium is a bit unique, as the stadium itself is contained within brick facade walls of the University Center, a complex built around the stadium that houses the Registrar, the School of Hospitality, the College of Communications, the College of Social Work, as well as numerous other classrooms and offices. Imagine being at a school where you partake in classes where a lot of the sports are going down. I think that would very much increase the culture, and it allows for the culture of the school and football program to be deeply intertwined. And this shows with the walk up to this glorious thing. The different wings present themselves from any angle, and you have the stadium in view from every angle on the interior as well. It really gives it that older look while still looking very nice and profound. Flipping it on over to capacity, this stadium started out with 15,000 seats in the year of 1950, which is a pretty high amount for the amount of people going to the school and in its Florida area at the time. It was then increased to 19,000 seats just 4 years later, until in 1961, where it went to 25,000 seats. During the Bowden era, it quickly raised in seat total all the way to 40,500 seats in 1970. It now sits at 82,310 seats since the 2001 season, until it recently dipped down here in the 2024 season while they remodel both sides of the bleachers. Now in the 2025 season, they are going to be down to 77,000 seats, give or take, but the quality of said seats will go up. Now they have a good portion of suite seating, and I would say it does coincide with the percentage of the population that would actually utilize this seating, while also giving most of the space over to the student body. A lot of the capacity here is in a good range to see the field, and I can't really knock them for it. It is a stadium that they have obviously built around a lot of, and it is easily encapsulated in the seats as well. One thing I can say is they could improve on the amount of pull-down seating, just like any other college stadium could, and also by probably theming the seats in some way, shape, or form as well. You see a lot of guys with the themed back seats that they're making do with what they got. This fan base is a little too powerful to warrant making huge accommodations to the stadium because they're going to come out either way. Chopping it up with fan appeal, the Florida State Seminoles are in second in the ACC with average home attendance for the 5th year in a row to the Clemson Tigers. They have shown very consistent fan attendance between alumni and student body alike, with the good portion of the undergrad always attending. I think it was at 76% at one time. They have a good amount of traditions like the Sod Cemetery, as well as the war chants, marching chiefs, Marcella and Renegade symbols that keep traditions alive and keep students with a consistent mark of school spirit. We're going to go ahead and give these guys a B+. And last but not least, Modern Amenities. Florida State is very well equipped in their sports facilities, as well as just being very well kept up overall. You can see 2016 a new video board was installed for the 2017 season, and a speaker system was installed, modernizing and cleaning up the stadium overall. I believe they spent $80 million doing this. In 2022, new grass in all the athletic campuses on campus was put in, as well as a new locker room. So these guys are always with the times, and I cannot knock them in any way, shape, or form. This stadium had the #1 audio system in 2016 for a football stadium. So I'm just going to go ahead and out there and put an A+. If any of you agree, go ahead and give it a like. And there you have it, Florida State fans, Florida State spectators, and Florida State Stadium curiosities. This stadium is a very well put and it is a prime example of what a well-funded campus overall can do and what someone that constantly focuses on sports can achieve with consistency. While this team did have the benefit of having a very good and storied head coach during the glory days of college football, a lot goes to show for the overall support from fans, alumni, coaches, players, and other teams alike. And that'll do it all for this week. Until next time on Blueprints to Bleachers.